I wrote this book because I was frustrated with charts and graphs that I had seen that I thought were inherently misleading, that had messages in them that perhaps the chart makers hadn't intended. And the chart makers, in some cases, the ones that are really making the decisions, are Excel and PowerPoint. And guess what? Both of those programs make some pretty lousy choices, and we'll actually get to those. But the focus today is going to be to provide a little extra spin, what they call technical analysis of stock market data. And that sounds pretty high-flown, but it's actually got some very interesting things about the way the market behaves, about the way things are actually going on today on Wall Street. This is my favorite slide. The entire presentation is locked in this slide. Can anybody tell me what this says?
This is not a pipe.
This is not a pipe? Well, let's see. Is it the same size as a pipe?
No.
No. Could you hold it in your hand?
No.
No. Could you put tobacco in it? Could you smoke it? Well, in what ways is it a pipe? I mean, that's what René Magritte, this artist, is trying to shock us with. In his day, it was a shock. Now it's kind of a, yeah, okay. But it's a representation of a pipe. It is a pattern that in our minds says pipe. But what this painting tells us is that human beings react to patterns immediately. Your brain says pipe. If I said, don't think of this as a pipe, yes, okay, you can back up and say, okay, it's not a pipe, it's not a pipe. But every time you look at it, you go, oh, pipe. And then you're going to think, oh, Gerald told me it's not a pipe, it's not a pipe, it's not a pipe. This is the stock market in the same way that that pipe is not a pipe. This is a representation of the stock market. This is an abstraction of the stock market. This is data reduction of the stock market. But this is not reality. No chart is reality. It's a means of interpretation. It's a tool. It's a basis for presenting some information that is part of a view of reality. In this case, this is a chart of prices over time. So very traditionally, and as you would expect, value is on the y-axis, dollar value of the stocks traded, and time is on the x-axis. In this case, this is a very typical kind of chart in that it presents a series of months. That's kind of important because here is a picture of the stock market and a feed as how it's performing from moment to moment. Is this a better picture of reality? Anybody? No, it's simply a different set of arbitrary assumptions about what the market is. And in some cases, it may be less useful because it's not enough of a data summary. It's not enough of an abstraction. It's not really giving us that bird's eye view that we need to see how our favorite stock or index is performing over time. So this really isn't subject to interpretation. Nanex makes software that does real-time data feeds to brokerages, and sometimes these guys care about this stuff.